The Budhole Podcast.
Welcome to the Budhole. It's your chance. Do your dance at the Budhole.
Here's a hot take.
Guess who's back? Back again. Budhole's back. Tell your friends.
Budhole coming at you.
We just want to say before this thing starts, thank you so much to our loyal listeners, and here you go with another great Budhole podcast, brought to you by Star Lamar, Brandon, Gage's Rage, and Scott on the Budhole Podcast Network.
What's up, everybody? The holdout is over, and I am back. Star was telling the truth last week when he said my ass will be in the seat, and they caved. They finally came to my place, so here I am.
Star's got a good dick game. That's what that means.
Well, whatever. I don't really care. The big thing is Brandon's back.
Hopefully your pullout game
The
is stronger.
Budhole is whole.
There was a lot of shade thrown in the past couple of weeks.
What?
People saying they're not going to pay me, and then Scott saying that he did pay me to give some advice on the movie review last week. Go back and listen to it.
Some
But
would say not
technically,
enough
I
shade.
did win the holdout. If we're money, stuff, things.
You did buy pizza tonight, so it went a long way.
Yes,
Thank you.
it went right back into the butthole. It's great to be back. And do you guys know what the number 17? What does that mean?
Well, it was Jarius Wright's number with the Vikings.
Josh Allen's number with the Buffalo Bills.
It's the number of weeks in an NFL season.
It's a year before you turn 18 and can go to strip clubs.
17 is the age Scott started losing his hair. It was
That's not true, actually.
the age of Star's
two.
favorite Disney character, Jasmine.
I think
It
you're
was
being
the
nice
amount of
now.
hand jobs Gage tried to give me in college, successfully, I might add. And it is actually also the amount of days before the NFL season kicks off.
Ooh,
yeah. Hey,
Hopefully.
really quick on that 17.
It's a reach.
This is the sports. This is the sports
Around.
podcast
Yeah.
for this week.
Yeah.
Would you say, if we're talking baseball terms, Gage bats 1,000?
1001.
If we're talking baseball terms, I'm also a switch hitter.
Oh, he's definitely a switch hitter. He actually plays both ways, too.
I'm right-handed, bat left. You know what I'm saying?
So then you're a catcher.
I definitely pitch. Look it up.
You might be the only
I'm
switch
more of
hitting
a
pitcher.
shortstop. I just catch anything comes up the middle.
There you go.
Well, all right.
17 days until
17 through the
kickoff.
football season. That's
And who's the first matchup?
It is
Chiefs
and Texans.
Texans.
Thursday night.
Exciting
Okay,
stuff.
we should do some prop betting lines for that game. The over/under at 37.5 for
That's
how
what
many
it's at right now?
for how many times they say COVID during that broadcast.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'll hammer the over.
If it's anything like Hard Knocks, I'm saying over 2.
Are we counting pregame?
No, if we counted
Just fourth
pregame,
quarter.
it'd be 137.
Just fourth
and a
quarter?
half. Yeah,
Over.
yeah.
Over. 100% over.
And the COVID is in the news again.
COVID.
We should call
I
it
like- let's
COVID
call it
because
the
it's
coos.
fucking coos, man.
It's one of the greatest coups of the 2020 year.
It's all fake. So the fake tests come out and they're not even close to fucking negative, right?
Oh,
Or
you
pos-
mean the
they
false
were-
positives?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? The league's blowing up. You guys are texting me saying there's not going to be any football this year. And then almost 100 players that tested positive are actually not positive.
Are they pulled out of quarantine yet? Do we know this?
They have been pulled out of quarantine.
They have been.
Everything's been clarified because they got the tests redone actually yesterday. And they all came
What
back
if those were all the wrong ones?
negative. Well, that
Well, at
brings
least
up
we have football.
Which test can you trust?
the question: how many false negatives do you think there's been?
In the whole nation?
Not in the NFL, but just in the nation
Or the
and
world?
as a whole. Yeah,
I feel like there's more false positives.
I do too because it fits my narrative.
True.
One guy that did not test positive for COVID but got cut anyways was Earl Thomas.
He's a great guy.
Star Lamar, fill us in on the details with Earl Thomas and the Baltimore Ravens.
So it all kind of started when he was still a Seahawk. He had a tumultuous ending to his tenure there. He's the famous picture of him flicking off the quarterback as he's getting carted off the last game that I played with. He also ran into the Cowboys locker room, said, "Come get me after a game." His character issues are already in there. And then this past summer, during a pandemic, he decides to have a gangbang with his brother His wife finds out about it, shows up with her homies and a gun, knives and shit, tries to do it. More character things. Great player, though, right? You let these things slide.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe you're looking for a way out. He has a guaranteed contract. He's having a great camp. I think he blows a coverage in practice from the video I watched. Another guy starts yelling at him, telling him he needs to get his shit together. He takes a swing. They send him home. Quickly, the team decides this might be our way out. We can get out of this guaranteed contract. Conduct detrimental to the team, which is a whole nother conversation in itself. I think that's bullshit. They use that to cut him so they don't have to pay him. He was one of the top 5 paid safeties in the league.
He just signed a 4-year, $55 million deal.
Yeah.
I think it was last year.
And that is a team with a lot of young talent that are going to be coming up for contracts soon.
Do you think this
2
is
corners they have to pay?
Is this a
top tier
move
money.
to get Ngakoue? Potentially.
Well, they've been talking about them trading for him. I don't see how it would be a move necessarily to get him, because if they traded for Ngakoue, and if Ngakoue really he wants to be on a winning team, right? That's what he's been saying. You'd think he would play this year on the contract that he's on.
Don't they play different positions?
They do, but Brandon's talking salary cap.
He's tagged, though.
Oh, shit, that's right. So he's
So-
making like $12 million.
Yeah, I mean, he'd play on that. But who do they have at defensive line? They traded for Calais. They have that, was it Judon? Or is he
Yeah,
an
they have-
outside?
He's an outside linebacker, but they
They're
run a
th-
3-4.
Yeah, so they got Judon, Calais Campbell. They would have Ngakoue.
Would he be an outside linebacker?
I think
You think he'd
Ngakoue would be a
transition?
stand-up. Yeah. I think he would be a stand-up outside linebacker for sure.
Then they drafted Patrick Queen.
He'll play on the inside, though.
I'm just thinking the rest of their defense.
They lost Michael Pierce.
They
Yeah,
lost Suggs. Did
they haven't
get
had Suggs for
back?
a long time.
No, the Chiefs claimed him.
Yeah, the Chiefs.
Are you looking up their depth chart right now, Scott?
I am.
Who can do it faster?
Someone
Is it Verizon or is it?
So they
Sprint?
have on the defensive
T-Mobile?
line, they have Derek Wolf, who's a
Verizon.
really solid player.
And
They
came
have-
up with Denver.
Yep, he's their lefty end. They have Calais Campbell at the other defensive end spot, and then a Brandon Williams at nose tackle, who I don't know much about, but I would assume
He's
he's
good.
decent.
I
Yep.
think he's good. I've
Yeah.
heard a few things.
Speaking of that, we were workshopping before the cast a little game that Star's thinking of. Williams would be a good one, Star. Write that down.
I was thinking those are the easy ones we'll do first.
Okay.
We'll get into
yeah.
Manning.
Then they have
Good luck.
There's some outside of
There's a
Yeah.
few.
Matthew Judon would be the obvious outside linebacker as the rushing guy, and then they'd have Ngakoue on the other side, who they currently have a guy by the name of Jalen Ferguson on the outside. Backing him up is Pernell
Never heard of her.
McPhee, so Ngakoue would definitely be the other outside linebacker.
So it is a fit.
And I don't think Judon... I'm not a Baltimore Ravens... I don't watch a lot of their games, but I did watch them obviously in the playoffs, whatever. Judon, I feel like, is not a guy that needs to be a pass rusher every down, right? He can trade off. He's not a one-trick pony, so to speak, like Clay Matthews. He
Yeah.
can do it all.
Ngakoue's more of that, though, isn't he?
So if they traded for him, he would almost be the automatic
Edge
default
rusher.
edge rusher. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But Judon's also only under contract with them for one more year. Right? They didn't give him. They didn't re-sign him. I thought they slapped the tag on him.
They did tag him. Yeah. that's
So
right.
Judon would be out after this year, anyways.
So that could be the replacement, or sign one of the two, whichever one.
Is
sounds
there
more
any
team-friendly.
issues with trading for someone with a franchise tag?
He
when
would
you
have to sign
a
the
contract?
franchise tag
No, doesn't he have to
before.
sign a long-term contract with them?
not to be traded. You can trade
Nope.
someone on a tag.
Yeah.
But if you have a tag already,
But he hasn't signed it, so he is untradeable at this current time. But if they come to him and say, "Hey, if Ravens offered this, we're willing to trade for that. Will you sign your tag?"
I'm saying like a team that already has their franchise tag assigned trades for a franchise tag
to
player.
get a second franchise tag player.
Yeah, is there any?
I don't think it would matter if
I
they're
think
trading
that's
him.
okay. Yeah, they are not allowed to give him a new contract until after the season. It's already past that. So whichever team he gets traded to, if he does get traded, he's playing on his tag. They can't come to him with a new contract until after the season.
Back to Earl Thomas, though, a couple potential suitors for him have been Dallas, obviously. Dallas is always mentioned when you have a big-name guy get cut. It's been rumored Seattle, possibly, him going back to Seattle. I haven't really heard of any others. I did see, though, today, the
What
Browns rookie Delpit
He
got carted off the field.
That ain't good.
So the Browns could be a potential landing spot for Earl Thomas.
I know it's comment sections and not GM sections, but a lot of comments were saying Steelers.
Steelers?
Pair him with Minka.
Oh my
Minka,
God.
holy
Could you
cow.
fucking imagine those two paired together?
And then you get
And
to
he's-
play against the Ravens twice a year.
I feel like
Yeah.
Earl Thomas is the type of guy that would love to stay in the North to play those guys twice.
The Browns make sense.
I don't know. He doesn't seem like a basket case to me.
Oh, sorry.
The Browns make sense because they've been really looking for a guy after trading Jabril Peppers for OBJ.
But
He
Jabril wasn't really that guy either for him, was he?
No, he was played in the box more than he played over
Yeah.
top.
They just need safety help, period, though, the Browns do. Especially now with Delpit being down. And it did not sound good. Possible torn Achilles, which if it is, he's done for the year.
That
Yeah.
could be career.
See,
Do they still got the Deshaun Kaiser safety they traded for from the Packers?
yeah, who the hell was that? Demarius
Ha-ha.
Randall?
Demarius Randall.
Yeah.
Is he
Yeah.
still on?
He's still on
I
the
think
so.
roster. Yep.
So they got one at least.
They have Randall. They got Ward. Who's the other rookie that they drafted? Was it last year? Or was it this year they drafted a rook?
They drafted a corner last year, Greedy Williams.
That's who it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Delpit this year.
Who knows? He could get claimed off waivers. I don't think it's cleared yet. I don't think it's all officially in motion. So there could be a desperate low-end team that says, we'll take on that contract. We'll claim him. He'll probably force his way out of there somehow, but I could see them. What about the Tennessee Titans? Where were they sitting at for safety?
They got Byard.
They have two good safeties.
They do have two good ones.
I don't know who the other one is, though.
I should say they have two safeties that they like.
Green Bay Packers. They have Amos.
That's it. That's all they have. But they have a lot of young guys that they like. Green Bay does.
We're obviously not taking them. I don't think the Bears have any interest in them. Lions, maybe.
They are trying to build that secondary back up.
It'd be interesting to
pretty
see where he
weak there.
lands. You don't often get a blue chip player like that. Even at his age, he still is one of the top safeties in the game on the free agency market. 17 days before the opening. Doesn't happen.
How about the
very
Bucks?
often.
Number.
Tampa Bay?
No, because they have this kid there that is turning heads at practice. Goes by the name of Antoine Winfield Jr.
Wow. Where did he play college ball?
The University of Minnesota.
So the Titans, really quick to backtrack before we get deep diving on Winfield. Kenny Vaccaro and Kevin Beard.
Kenny.
So they got good safeties. The
Who'd Vaccaro play for before Gage?
I have no idea.
The Saints.
Oh, really?
Who did he play for before the Saints?
The Raiders.
He got drafted by the Saints.
Syracuse.
I think it was Texas.
Texas.
Texas A&M.
The Buccaneers at safety have Anton Winfield and Jordan Whitehead. I don't know
could
much
put him
about Whitehead.
next to Junior. Did see articles, though. Antoine Winfield is making his presence known.
He's a gamer.
Yeah.
You could tell that watching Gophers games last year, which we're not going to be able to this year because of fucking Kevin Warren.
Hey, but they made the preseason AP poll.
I don't give a fuck. I want to watch.
They're not going to be eligible for votes after the season starts, but they're on the preseason one.
Where do they
19,
fall?
I think.
Hell yeah.
I just
Top
really
25
quick
this year.
want to go out on a limb here, and it's a pretty strong limb. Kevin Warren, Budhole beef with that motherfucker. He's not supposed to do us dirty. He came from the Vikings. I was like, sweet, the Vikings guy going to be the commissioner of the Big Ten. And now, he's just got his bent over fucking us all. The whole Big Ten is being fucked by him.
Justin
met him
Fields.
before.
That's what, yeah, I remember you saying
I hung a
that.
couple of things in his house, in his basement, picture frames.
He was a nice guy, right?
Yeah. Until
That's within
this.
the last 6 months, right?
That was winter, maybe? I don't remember. Within the last year. For sure.
He freaking, his own son is going to play football this year in the SEC. And he bans the Big Ten from playing.
That's why he's banning the Big Ten from playing. He wants to go watch his kid play.
Conspiracy.
You with your conspiracies.
Are you like? I know that this is a little off the rails.
He's
but-
always on 8chan.
I
Yes.
wish I had access to 8chan.
8chan.
You have a VPN. You can access anything you want to.
Hey, this is for Budhole After Dark. You know, I would
Hard
say
rate
that's going to
guy.
get cut,
Yeah,
but I don't
come
spend a lot of time on the editing.
You don't even put the ads in the right place.
We paused for no goddamn reason.
Speaking of that, we're 14 minutes in. We will be right back with division breakdowns after this. Quick ad break.
And this is where Scott forgets to put the ad in.
Not this one. I'm writing this one down.
And this is where we start back up. Welcome back, everybody. We're doing the division breakdown.
Correct.
Hey, speaking of divisions, we're breaking down divisions because the NFL is right around the corner. As Brandon said at the top of the cast, 17 days away from...
17 hand days
Today,
away.
Monday, August 24th.
17 days. The NFL's back in 17
34 hand jobs.
really short days.
Holy.
The NFL is going to be back on your TVs, and there's nothing better than to gamble on some NFL football. Am I right, guys? Am I right?
I just have a question for Gage. So he corrected Brandon's 17 hand jobs to 34 hand jobs.
Yeah,
Does that
2 a
mean
day
he's
like a good
does that
vitamin.
mean he's a two-hander?
No,
Is that what you're
2
telling me?
hand jobs
That's what
a
he's
day
got.
like a good
Oh, I
vitamin.
thought you were saying you use two hands both
2
times.
hand jobs a day keeps the cobwebs away.
You know we use Q-tips for Brandon's hand jobs, but they're 2 a day like a good
Q-tips.
vitamin.
2 of them.
You sons of bitches. We just got out of the toilet paper shortage, and now we're going to go into a Q-tip shortage.
All right,
sell
so we're
500
breaking
a pack for a
down
reason.
these divisions. We're going to start
These are
this
always
week
on
with
hand.
the AFC,
Yeah.
the Super Bowl side of the NFL.
So first, being we're
You
talking
saying the
Super
AFC
Bowl.
is going to win?
I'm saying they did win.
Being we're talking
Oh.
AFC and Super Bowls, why not start in the AFC West, huh? Am I right, guys?
They
AFC
do
West?
have the Super Bowl champs,
Yeah,
correct?
that's where I'll start out with breaking down the AFC West. And to be honest, I think the AFC West is a pretty easy one. It's
Oh,
gonna
really?
Is that why you picked it?
no, but when
Didn't want a challenge?
I picked it and I started thinking about it, it's easy. Kansas City's going to be number 1. You can't go against them for number 1. And then I started to realize it's not as easy as I thought. Number 4 is going to be the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers have the team to get out of number 4.
I don't know if I agree, but
I definitely disagree.
Now, I'm going to break down really quick. I have Denver finishing in the 3rd spot. Denver's going to be 7-9. The reason I'm picking Denver at 3 is because I have some shares of Drew Lock in fantasy. And I need Drew Lock to be the truth. So, they're going to be 7-9. Drew Lock's going to have a really good year. They're going to look pretty good. And then the Raiders are going to be, just like they did last year, knocking on the door of the playoffs. Being they open up to 7 playoff teams this year, I think the Raiders get in the playoffs at, we'll say, 9-7. Chiefs are going to go 13-3. Raiders 9-7. Broncos 7-9. Chargers 6-10. The Chargers, if they start with Herbert from the start of the year, they have a shot to get in the playoffs. But I don't think they will, and I think Tyrod Taylor is going to be a disaster. So that's how I see the AFC West lining up. What do you guys think?
with the Chargers, I feel like if Herbert doesn't start the season, but he does play at some point, that means they're not winning games. So, in that aspect, I can see it.
100% agree with that.
But they have arguably one of the best defenses, at least in that division, if not in the AFC.
I'd like to add, I want to say Tyrod Taylor will be this year's Ryan Tannehill. Tyrod Taylor isn't bad. He's got tons of weapons around him. Could push this team to the playoffs.
Am I hearing an echo of Star from every week for the past year?
Star Lamar has
Tyrod
nothing.
Taylor is not bad.
Star Lamar doesn't even have to add anything. He's just over there with a big shit grin on his face.
I think it's the biggest thing I disagree with you is that it was an easy division. I think that one's hard.
Do you think my breakdown is pretty good, though?
I think
No.
between the other three teams, they could finish in any order. I think it's easy to put KC at 1, but I don't think it's a lock even.
And I think it could be within 2 games. Yeah,
Right.
I think they could all beat on each other and the division could be real tight. I wouldn't sleep on any one of the teams based off the rosters they have built.
The Broncos are probably the least scary on paper because just of the age and the experience that they have. Their offense is babies.
But you could see them being the flashiest still.
Yeah.
With Sutton blowing up and bringing in Melvin Gordon to score short touchdowns. Drew Lock could be something. He
I
could
need
not.
Drew Lock to be really good, and I need Cortland Sutton to look good, too.
And you need...
And I need Noah Fant to be good.
And you
All right,
need
so there
the
you have
Raiders
it.
running back, Jacobs, to be good.
The Budhole has it at Chiefs winning the division, Raiders sneaking into the playoffs, Broncos knocking on the door, and Chargers in the basement.
And with that being said, speaking of the basement, that's going to lead us to the next division in the AFC. The AFC East, which is, I think, one of the worst divisions on paper in football this year. Gage, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, I agree. There are a couple early round picks in the draft last year. The Miami Dolphins definitely have got a lot of potential in the future, but this year I really don't think it comes together like they hope. I think Tua does get the start, but I think they do roll with Fitzmagic for a little bit until he blows up. I still think they finish at the bottom of the division. And just barely ahead of them, I see the New England Patriots coming in second to last. Cam Newton and Jarrett Stidham, they're going to have some quarterback controversy. I think Belichick really could be tanking for Trevor. And it's going to be a difficult year for New England. I see the Jets possibly making to 8-8. Hopefully Darnold makes a step in his second year. Fourth year. Is it actually his fourth year?
No, it's his third year.
Okay. Well, his second year starting. Last year with the kissing disease, that doesn't really count, right?
Did you hear what Le'Veon Bell, the reporters asked Le'Veon Bell about Darnold and COVID and being healthy this year, and Bell told him basically just to stay out of the bars.
Just stay home, don't party in New York.
He basically said don't go out to the bars and clubs.
Makes sense, man. He's a young fucking millionaire, though. What are you supposed to do when you're the starting quarterback in the New York Jets?
You can pay people to come to your house.
Well, there's
That's
that.
true.
And then I think the Bills run away with it. I think they're a really good team, and Josh Allen steps forward with the addition of Stephon Diggs. I think Zach Moss is going to score some short yardage touchdowns, and Singletary is a good 1-2 punch with the rookie.
You in on Zach Moss? Am I starting to turn you a little bit?
He's got some short yardage potential for sure. I've thought that from the beginning. Singletary wasn't a finishing kind of back, so I see him being through the 20s, and then Moss being the red zone guy, and then Allen's really mobile.
ESPN was having their rankings for 2020 PPR leagues going across the ticker today. Stephon Diggs, 30th.
Wow.
Ranked wide receiver.
Absolute steal at his
I would
average
take
draft
that
position.
for sure.
Absolute steal.
I was surprised because Thielen was 11, and I was like, oh, Diggs can't be that far behind. 30th. There are rookies above him.
People are very weary of Diggs for two reasons.
Josh Allen's accuracy.
Josh Allen, and then number two, the Bills' scheme on offense is a big-time ground and pound, especially once you get down into the red zone.
I mean, Blake Bortles has a better completion percentage than Josh Allen.
But Blake Bortles is a GOAT.
Well, there's that.
And
he did lead a team to the AFC Championship game and almost beat the Patriots.
He was on a team that made it to the AFC Championship game.
Is that how that happened?
Yeah. Let's be realistic about it. The defense led that team everywhere they went that season.
Know.
We just don't want to get accused of being fake news in the Budhole, so we want to make sure that our rhetoric is correct.
Did you know in the last 5 years, 6 teams have gone from worst to first in their division?
Yeah, the NFL is like prime for it.
And the AFC East is prime for that. I think the Dolphins are going to take first place.
Wow.
You know who was the last team to do it in that division the year Tom Brady was hurt? The Dolphins. 1-15 to 11-5.
Chad Pennington.
Wildcat.
It took a hell of a fucking formation for them to do it.
Do we have a possible Budhole bet here? Could we get a possible Brandon takes the Dolphins, Gage takes the Bills, anything else is a wash for who wins the division?
I'd bet that. I think I get the strongest defense without a doubt.
Does Brandon need a little bit of odds here? Or?
Yeah, I'm not giving odds.
10 to 1.
I'm not giving odds.
Bet
What the hell?
$100?
You're trying to stand on your...
What about Brandon's $10 to your 20? 2-1 odds.
No odds. Just straight up. I don't like giving odds.
You're such a pussy.
Yeah, you're the one who's not making the bet.
I don't believe in the Dolphins.
Pussy.
You're just saying
You just said
based
you
on...
think they would win the division.
Oh,
They'd
yeah,
go
is
worst
that
to
what-
first.
Is that what I said?
Brandon's saying based on math and statistics and history, the Dolphins are going to be one of the teams that goes from worst to first.
Listen,
I don't even think Tua starts the year. Do you want to bet on that? Tua doesn't even start game
it's
one.
based off science and facts.
In 20, it's probably what, 21 days?
Listen,
Tua doesn't even start.
I did about 10 minutes worth of research on
$10
the Dolphins.
bet.
I think that's a safer bet that he doesn't start week 1.
How about this, Gage? I'll bet you this. You get the Bills, I'll take the field.
No.
$10. AFC East, $10.
For the Pats.
Pick your team.
I don't want to.
Exactly.
What if
See,
he
even with
gets-
the field, you're getting 3-1 odds.
What if he gets Dolphins, Patriots?
And you get Jets, Bills.
He doesn't want the Patriots.
I'd
He
rather have the
wouldn't take
Patriots
bet.
over the Jets.
I'll do that.
So
$10.
I get Jets, Bills. You get Patriots, Dolphins.
I'll do $10 for it.
All right.
Can I do
$10 on
$10
that.
too? I want that too. Dolphins. I get Dolphins, Pats.
Hey, no, stop this.
What? It's a socially distanced spit shake.
Those are strong hands.
So that's the bet
Electrician
right there.
fingers.
The butthole bet right there.
Okay, can we just stop for a second
Yeah,
and
sorry.
just give Gage his credit? He got all 4 teams in the AFC East right.
As far as got the actual names and
Yeah, he
locations.
remembered
of
all 4 teams.
Yeah,
in
I
the
didn't
AFC
call
East.
Sam Darnold.
Butthole round of applause.
Donald.
Good job, Gage. I was expecting him to talk about the Buccaneers or something, and
Defensive Player of the Year.
And then talk
Shaq
about how
Barrett.
good Kyler and Nuke are going to be together.
Doesn't Kyrie play for the Basketball Association?
I said Kyler.
Oh, sorry.
but yeah, you're right.
Wow, 2 for 2 today.
It's actually the National Basketball Association.
Sorry.
Gage, where are you going to punt it off to now? You did the AFC East.
I
did the
think
AFC
we should
West.
go to the North, where I think that is one of the tightest divisions in football.
It will be a tight division. And I'm going to take a contrarian take. I'm going to start from the bottom. I want to go with the Browns, but I don't think that Joe Burrow has it in him year one. Is A.J. Green hurt again?
I just saw a highlight of him catching a ball from Burrow, so I think he's back.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's back.
I think they're probably going to go about 6-10. I think they're going to squeak out some wins. I'm excited. I think it's week 11. Do they play the Dolphins?
I have no idea.
Something like that. They play the Dolphins sometime this year, and so that Tua Burrow matchup's going to be fun. But then after that, Browns are going to come in 8-8.
Wow.
They got a little less pressure on him this year.
Higher than I wanted to put them.
What did they finish last year? 7-8-1.
Yes.
So they'll get that tie back. They'll just put it to the win column.
That's a really good team on
Didn't they-
paper for an 8-win team. The Browns are just something.
They're
They
the
get
Browns.
Myles Garrett back for the whole season, hopefully.
I mean, I will say I don't disagree with you, but it's just sad.
I think they ride and die with Baker.
I don't trust Baker. I don't think he's got it.
If the Browns go 8-8 this year, Baker will not be the quarterback next year. They will do something else. He might go into next season as a starter, but they will have a rookie behind him or a veteran that could take that spot. 8-8 is not acceptable with that roster. It's just not.
Tons of talent on the offense.
You got Odell Beckham and Landry. It's a top 10 tandem in the league, probably a top 8. You have Nick Chubb at running back, who's a top 5 running back, probably a top 3. You have Kareem Hunt behind him, who is by far the best backup in the league. You have a defense that's not bad at all. It's solid. You have tight ends, especially bringing in Hooper, one of the top 8 tight end spots in the league. The team is loaded with talent. The offensive
Brought in
line
Jack
is much
Conklin
improved.
and drafted a left tackle.
Yeah. If you go 8-8, Baker Mayfield should not see the field again for the Browns as a starter.
And that's my bold take, is next year we're going to see a different quarterback in brown. Or orange. Whatever color you call them. Coming in at 10-6. The Ravens.
Oh,
I got the Steelers winning it at 11-5. The return of Big Ben. They have Juju, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, James Conner, whoever their tight end is. I'm sure it's a player. I'm pretty sure.
It's a player.
I'm pretty sure it's a player.
I'm excited to see what they can do. Big Ben's lost a little bit of weight. He stopped drinking and looking at porn. I think
Don't
he's
they
got a
have
whole new
Virgil
game.
Green in the Steelers?
Vance McDonald.
Vance McDonald and Virgil Green, the old Chargers tight end?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't look into it that much. I was told about this 10 minutes before the cast. So,
Well,
here
that's
we are.
because you were bailed on us for 2 weeks.
Well, there is that.
Well, there's that.
And their defense is strong. I think, so they took Chase Claypool in the second round. In the first round this year, I think they took Minkah Fitzpatrick. So they got him. That was a steal.
He was by far the best player on the board when they drafted.
Absolutely. TJ Watt, I mean, they got a good team. I'm excited. And if Earl Thomas goes there, that's even better. Ravens, they have a tougher schedule. It's not super hard, but they're going to play the Steelers twice. That's not going to be easy. The Browns, they lost one to them last year early on. It's no doubt that they could lose one this year.
They'll lose one to the Browns. I guarantee
They also played the Cowboys, the Ravens, which I don't think are the Patriots, which aren't going to be super easy.
Win.
Chiefs, Texans.
Loss.
I mean, Eagles, there's a lot of them.
Loss.
So there's at least 8
They lose
teams
to
that
the
they could
Eagles?
wish-wash with.
The Ravens lose to the Eagles.
I could
For
see
sure.
I would take that bet all day.
Let's just
it.
wait.
They're playing
and
in
see.
Philadelphia.
God, you are just
What week?
bet happy tonight.
Did
Did another round of stimulus checks come or something?
Hey, you know what?
10-18.
I
so
forgot
it's
to
like-
mention.
Because Lord
Week
knows
6?
you're not rolling positive in your betting account right now.
Dude, I heard on September 1st they're getting rid of the federal income tax.
Okay, well, you're getting excited.
It's going to be a pretty big bump in my check.
How are we going to pay for all of that's a different podcast. Never mind.
Wait till the after dark. There's still sun out.
That'll be the Budhole Under Budget podcast, debuting at a later date.
But do you guys look at bye weeks at all when you're looking at schedules, or what kind of runs they go on? Because like New England
Not
goes
when I
from
do it
East
10
Coast to
minutes
West
before.
Coast to East Coast to West Coast, like a lot, and then they have Sunday to Thursday night game on the West Coast, and they're based out of the East Coast. I don't think New England's going to be really good this year. I really don't think so at all.
It's Bill Belichick.
He can coach them to 7 wins out of just pure
He brought him to
will.
what? They were 10-6 with Matt Castle.
I would,
11.
Was it 11-5?
Yeah.
Because
They-
the
they
Dolphins
missed the
won at
playoffs.
11-5, but did they tie?
I know they missed the playoffs with Matt Castle, but they
Yeah.
had.
I think it was
11
10 and
wins.
6.
We're talking Patriots again, and I have one of the cheapest stacks in fantasy this year, which I think is going to be a good stack. Cam Newton and Kill Harry. Book it.
That's the only connection I want on the Patriots team.
I think
Period.
for the average draft position, you can get Cam Newton towards the end of the draft, and then Kill Harry's going in like the 10th round.
Mhm.
You can
That's-
get them both for very cheap, and I think that it has a chance to be a good connection.
We should save that for a Thrive Player of the Day or whatever.
Yeah, we probably
Hold up,
should've.
guys. Command Z. We're going back.
And bring in our Thrive Connection of the Week.
Yes, our Thrive
Scott.
Fantasy Connection of the Week, brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. If you go over to www.thrivefantasy.com and deposit $20 after you create an account with the promo code BUD, Thrive will match your $20 deposit with a $20 match. So you'll have $40 to gamble with after only spending $20 over at thrivefantasy.com, promo code BUD. Prop up. Now, Thrive Fantasy combo of the week, the dynamic duo Cam Newton and N'Keal Harry. Average draft positions for the two goes as follows. Cam Newton is going at pick number, hang on, let me go way down. 163 in fantasy football leagues. 163. Quarterback 14 off the board. So you can get him end of the draft. You get Cam Newton. And N'Keal Harry is going round 2, pick 12. So, sorry, round 12, pick 2. So you can get...
Say, who the fuck is taking them in round
About
2?
146 right there.
That's
so
impressive.
you can get both of them in the last 2 rounds of your draft, and it has a chance to be a good connection. I can't read very good if you guys can't tell, so...
The live read was a little... It was good.
Second round pick and N'Keal
You guys,
Harry.
we're 17 days away from football. We got time to polish it up, all right?
That's true.
Jesus.
When I heard your guys' first Thrive Fantasy plug,
You went and downloaded the app and used promo code BUD and
I
put
did.
$20 in
I
right
did.
away.
I got you guys $20.
Have you bet on any basketball or any baseball yet?
I have not, because I don't watch any.
You know what you should do? You should bet on League of Legends or Counter-Strike Go.
Gage is the official, unofficial ambassador of esports for the Budhole.
There was a point. You guys missed a perfect opportunity to call it a Bud plug, and I'm very disappointed in you
The
guys.
Bud Plug!
This is what we were missing the last 2 weeks.
This is why you earn. This is how you earn your contract right there. The Bud Plug.
Fucking right.
The Bud plug of the week is Cam Newton going in the 14th round of fantasy football drafts, and N'Keal Harry. Stack them just like a nice solid Bud plug. N'Keal Harry is a 12th round ADP at pick 2, so stack them up,
Knock 'em
plug
down.
that butthole.
Well,
ThriveFantasy.com.
now I'm going to kick it off. You have the South, right?
I did have the South. South last year, Texans won it. Titans made the playoffs. The Jaguars were in the basement, and the Colts kind of underperformed. They came into the year with high hopes. Andrew Luck retires. They pay their backup quarterback. Everything starts to fall apart. Obviously, the Titans made more noise in the playoffs than the Texans did, even though the Texans won the Super Bowl. But
Is that
I
the
have
biggest comeback that the Chiefs had on them, the 24, or was it higher than that in the playoffs? Because they were up 24-0.
Yeah. Against the Texans or the Titans?
The Chiefs were down 24 to the Texans. So did they blow? Was that the biggest playoff lead? Do you guys remember?
Tied for the biggest.
Tied for the biggest?
Mhm.
Okay. Nonetheless,
Pretty impressive.
for the Chiefs.
So I'll start at the bottom and go up. I do believe the Jaguars will finish in the bottom. I'm a big Minshew fan. They lost Calais Campbell. They are probably going to lose Ngakoue, so that's two of their pass rushers. They still have Josh Allen, who I think is a star, and I do think they had the best draft.
Wait, doesn't he
in
play
the
for the
division.
Bills?
Who?
Josh Allen.
Different Josh Allen. Got drafted in the same position 2 years apart. Same draft position. Fun fact. They got a cornerback, a pass rusher, a wide receiver. They filled some spots. I do think they'll be better. I just think they'll still be in the bottom. I think the Texans see their decrease. They did get David Johnson and Bradley Roby. They lost DeAndre Hopkins, obviously. They lost Lamar Miller. It seems like the coach will just make trades to make trades. He gets bored. And someone calls him and he gets excited that he got a phone call, so he makes a trade.
It's like Scott with fantasy football.
I do have a little hesitance saying this about the Texans because they surprise me every year, and Deshaun Watson is the best quarterback in that division. So it's hard for me to put them third, but that's what I'm rolling with right now. Second place in the division is going to be the Tennessee Titans, in my opinion. I do not believe in Tannehill like their division believes in Tannehill. I think Derrick Henry had way more to do with their success than Tannehill did last year. And they also lost Jack Conklin. They did draft an offensive lineman, but you can't count on him taking over that right tackle spot right away. Which leaves me to my number one team, the Indianapolis Colts, who have the additions of Phillip Rivers, Michael Pittman Jr., Jonathan Taylor, Xavier Rhodes, to go on what was already perceived as a stacked roster. I think they're going to the next level. I think they're going to win the division. I'm getting laughed at right now for saying
You had me
Xavier
until
Rhodes.
Xavier Rhodes. Come on, man. Key additions to the roster.
Hey,
Well, they lost Pierre Desir. They
Same
replaced
face,
him
new
with...
place.
Addition by subtraction. Ever heard of it?
1 step forward, 2 steps back.
He had a bad season. You don't know if it's his
bad
career.
3 seasons.
How long ago?
Dog, I was getting ripped on for supporting Xavier Rhodes into 2 seasons ago, and here we are.
Isn't that when we went to the NFC Championship game when he was playing lights out?
Yeah. And that was 18.
No, Rhodes had one bad year last year, and it was really
It was bad, but it could have just been a bad year.
And you were defending Rhodes into like 3/4 of last year. So that's why you got ripped.
Well, he was wearing purple.
I was like, he lets up like 10 yards
in
every
blue,
catch.
he'll be so
No, he
much
doesn't.
faster.
I like what they're doing. I was high on them last year, and obviously a lot of things happened that drew them back. They have a great offensive line. They have a 2-headed monster at running back. T.Y. Hilton's got a little gas left in him, and they got a quarterback who knows how to win games. He doesn't do it as often as people would like, but he has done it in the past. I think they're getting over the hump. I think on paper they're the best team in the AFC South. Indianapolis Colts, AFC South champs 2021.
I'm glad you don't fall into groupthink. Because Gage would have said Colts would have been last.
Not last. Old Man Rivers definitely ain't winning a fucking division.
I actually am all in on Star's take on that division. I'm all in on it. I think the Texans traded away way too much talent to even compete for the division. I really
agree,
did.
but you think Tennessee just falls off the map?
I
after
don't-
AFC
they
Championship?
don't have to fall
But
off.
what did they barely made the playoffs.
Yeah, they could
Gage,
be
you gotta
8-8.
realize they hit a hot streak. They weren't one of the greatest teams throughout the season. They hit a hot streak at the end.
When did
got into the
Tannehill
playoffs
start?
with
Week 5.
Week
Tannehill
5?
was like 10-2 as the starter, wasn't he?
Phillip Rivers will have
started
a
week
better
5,
statistical season this year, passing-wise, than Ryan Tannehill.
I'll bet that.
I can guarantee you he has better numbers this year than Ryan Tannehill.
How do you just QB rating? How are we determining this?
When you talk about passing yards, touchdowns, completion percentage, QBR, we'll go QBR. Yeah, let's do it.
QBR is the ascension of them all, right?
Sure, let's do it. QBR.
So
$10.
You're giving
bet?
Phillip Rivers has a better QBR this year than Ryan Tannehill.
Compare him last year.
You're giving Phillip Rivers the best offensive line, not only he's ever had, but the best offensive line in football, hands down.
Yeah.
With a running game, with a functional tight end in Doyle, a big target on the outside with Pittman, who by the way has a lot of steam right now. People are saying he looks like a stud. T.Y. Hilton is easy to forget about, but the dude is very good.
He's already
And
got ankle issues.
The Colts defense last year was
He's
pretty
missed-
good.
Like 6 games in his entire career, and they were all last year.
He's 31 years old. You get older, these injuries start to nag a little
And
bit
even
more.
so, they still have Paris Campbell, who's an okay wide receiver.
And actually, this goes against you. He'll go out and play limited or just play the freaking distraction factor on the outside and not be healthy. He did that quite a bit last year.
They weren't playing for anything last year, though.
That's the weak excuse. I don't think they have a 1-2 punch. I think they have a good runner behind an amazing offensive line. I do think Taylor is talented as all get out, and I think he will take the starting job very quickly. But
This is good.
Old Man Rivers is just...
He's a good
he
quarterback.
didn't have it. He had all the weapons last year without a line. I don't think giving him time to throw a shitty ball is going to make it better.
But he's the type of quarterback that needs a good offensive line, especially at this age. And if he has it, he can still sling the rock.
I think you can...
Phillip Rivers is not 45. The
You
dude's
can
36,
hide-
37.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
You have that many kids that ages you like a fucking dog, man.
He's not the one pushing them out.
He's not pushing him out, but he still has to feed the damn cocksuckers.
That's why he's going to ball out.
That's why
No.
he's throwing touchdowns.
No, that's
He's
why
in
he's
the
signing
wings.
20 million deals at his age of 37
This is
to
the
go
most
play
coach
over 1
said-
year of football.
The coach said he anticipates him being here much longer than 1 year.
Exactly.
From what he's seen.
Exactly. His wife's probably pregnant with a 13th or whatever he's at
Plus,
now.
the Colts have the best coach in that division, too.
Gage, who's the coach?
Chuck Pagano.
Is it still Chucky? I thought he had cancer.
No, Chucky's the coach in the Vegas Raiders, dude. Gruden's
that's Gruden.
Chucky. They call him
What?
Chucky.
Anthony Costanza.
Stop.
The left tackle.
Fine,
Frank
it's Frank Reich.
Who's that?
Yeah, exactly. You'll know the name.
I'm trying to think of just coaches in general.
Coach
I feel
of the
like-
Year 2020.
They have the best defensive player in that division.
Oh, I didn't even mention Buckner. They traded their first round pick for DeVorce Buckner.
Well, I
as
wasn't talking about him. I was
Darius
talking-
Leonard.
Yeah.
But I
Leonard
as
is
soon
so
as you
good.
said it, I've missed one of their biggest key
Yeah.
additions. They got a top 5 defensive tackle in the league.
And
I think you're
it's-
sleeping on A.J. Brown, this year's Devontae Parker,
Corey Davis?
Corey
Is that who you're going
Davis.
with?
Derrick Henry
I
is
like it.
coming into his contract. He's got to run
Whoa,
the
whoa,
ball.
If they-
watch yourself.
If they
Derrick
won
Henry
12 games last year
got his contract.
and did that, I would
I know
be
he's
higher
got to
on
make
them.
that money. He's got to earn
They
that. You know,
snuck into the playoffs and got
prove that money is what I'm trying to say.
And
they did make it week 17.
Did
into
you
the
find
playoffs.
Tannehill's stats as a starter last
I
year?
did, yeah. But you guys were talking
If
about
this is
if
what I
they
would
did
tell
it-
you.
If they didn't make the playoffs last year and we didn't see that run, I could put them at the bottom of my list and no one would say
Nobody
anything.
would argue.
They just happened to play 3 solid games, 2.5 solid games at the end of the year that makes everyone think that Vrabel is Jesus.
They were fighting the Steelers, weren't they?
To
Make
get
it?
in.
Yeah.
With
and,
their third string quarterback.
and between Mason and Duck, like, ugh. Anyways,
And-
I have his stats up, Gage.
Let's hear him.
7-3 as a starter, played in 12 games. 70% completion, 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 picks.
What's a QBR? Let's just go straight QBR. Just to compare them last year on different teams. But
Yeah, I'll look up both of them right now.
I'm pulling up Phillip Rivers right now.
Okay.
And I just want to, while you guys are looking this up, I'll kill some airtime.
Oh my God.
Ryan Tannehill is a jag. He's just a guy. And I don't think if you're in a meat grinder game, he's the guy that's going to pull the game out.
What's
for you.
Rivers?
You start. I guarantee it's worse.
62.2.
Yeah, 48.6.
Not that far off, though.
pictured as
14 points
That's not that much, dude.
out of 100.
That's not that much.
That's a whole grade and a half.
For you claiming though that Rivers had such an awful year,
4,600 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 20 interceptions.
But he won't throw that with the Colts.
At the age of 35.
No, you can take like 6
Sorry,
interceptions
that was
off.
38 years old, and he's turning 39 this year. You guys, Old Man Rivers is not going to win.
I'm doubling down.
You want a butthole bet?
No.
I'll roll all of them, man.
Yes.
$20.
Okay, so I'm going to list off the players in between Tannehill and Phillip Rivers, starting from 21 going up. Jacoby Brissett, so the guy who's replacing. Aaron Rodgers was next at 50.4. Then it was Baker, Daniel Jones, Tom Brady, Jameis Winston, Kyler Murray, Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo, Carson Wentz, Derek Carr. And they were all, Derek Carr tied them. They're all pretty close.
Your guy's boy, Carson Wentz, is below Ryan Tannehill. That's what he just said.
yeah, I heard him loud and clear.
You guys both love Carson Wentz, actually, Ty. And
Yeah.
he had a lower
Carson Wentz
QBR
was
than Ryan
throwing to
Tannehill.
7th and 8th and 9th string wide receiver.
my gosh.
Why you cannot take that and say, "Oh, that doesn't matter," because it fucking does matter. Your
You know who had
offensive
the
line
second
matters.
most... never
Everything matters in QBR. It's different season. Phillip Rivers is a more talented quarterback than Ryan Tannehill.
And he has a much better track record than Ryan Tannehill does.
In his career, he probably was more talented.
Let's just
But at
pick
the
a year.
age of...
Let's go 2 years ago. Let's see what their QBRs were.
Ryan Tannehill brought a horrible Miami Dolphins team to the playoffs. Ryan Tannehill brought a horrible
Ryan
Tennessee
Tannehill
Titans
wasn't-
team to the playoffs.
No, he did not.
In the
words of the
playoffs?
great Star Lamar, Ryan Tannehill was on a Tennessee
What
Titans
year?
team last year that snuck into the playoffs and
His
caught
last year.
fire because of a running back that was running out of his mind.
You still got to have the guy that doesn't fuck the game up. And Tannehill is not that guy.
No, Tannehill is the guy that won't fuck the game up, but he's also not going to win the game.
Sorry,
for
I
you.
meant Rivers isn't the guy for the fucking Indianapolis Colts. He's going to fuck the game up. He's going to throw 20 more interceptions. They're going to go third or second in the division.
No, we'll see.
Well, Tannehill, they did make the playoffs in 18, but he only played in 11 games.
Boomtown. Same thing. Someone else is better. Fitzmagic. And then he comes in, saves the day.
Fitzmagic wasn't on the team then. It was Matt Moore that was playing the rest of the games. Because Matt Moore got lit up in the playoffs.
Oh, so Tannehill got hurt.
Tannehill, yeah, I think he tore his ACL.
That's
Was
right.
it?
But he clobbered it while he was there, right? And then where was Tannehill was drafted by the Dolphins?
Well, let's see what his stats were in 18. 5-6 as a starter. Under 2,000 yards. So this was in 11 games. 17 touchdowns, 9 picks.
Okay,
Meh.
Yeah. 5-6 as a starter, but yeah, he only played 11 games.
Yeah.
He's still brought him to the playoffs, and I think he's
Oh,
going to
it
do
sounds
it again.
like David Moore brought him to the playoffs.
Matt
He
Moore.
went 5-6. Matt Moore.
Or the running game, Brown. How did they even get to the playoffs?
I don't fucking know.
That was 2018. That was 2 years ago.
Oh, wait. Maybe they didn't make the playoffs that year. I could be wrong. I thought it was advanced passing, so maybe that's what it is.
nonetheless,
My
Star
bad. They
going
probably
out
didn't
on a
make it.
limb, sticking his neck out for the Colts to win that division. I like a bold take like that. It's a good take,
I want to make another butthole bet.
and the time will tell.
Star will make one with you.
Don't put words in my mouth.
With that being said, we're going to get into some butthole staples right after this commercial break.
And thank you for sitting through that 5 seconds of awkward silence.
And we're back, everybody. This is the Budhole ABCs, brought to you by none other than me, Scott, right after I insert that commercial break, because I don't miss any ever. This one is a little bit different. I'm going to be asking you guys for average draft position trivia. PPR league. I'm going to give you 4 tight ends, and what I want you to do is rank the 4 tight ends. Who you think is being drafted the highest to the lowest. These 4 names coming right at you right now. Rob Gronkowski.
4.
Zach Ertz.
2.
Darren Waller. Mark Andrews.
Oh.
Rank those guys 1 to 4 in average
ADP?
draft position and PPR leagues for fantasy.
It's going to go Waller, Ertz, whoever you said third, and then Gronk.
I think I'd go Ertz 1,
Andrews. 2.
Andrews, Waller, Gronk.
Oh, that's what I
Star
meant.
nailed it.
Andrews, yeah. Andrews is 1. Waller's 3rd. That's what I meant.
You just switch to whatever me and Star say.
But I said Ertz 1, not Andrews 1.
Well, I say Andrews, Ertz, Waller, Gronk.
Ertz, Andrews, Waller, Gronk.
That Gronk could sneak in, but I doubt he does.
So it goes
Not above
as
those
follows. Zach Ertz, number 1. Average draft position, 38 overall, 3rd tight end off the board.
People know what they're talking about.
Number 2, Mark Andrews, 42 overall, 4th tight end off the board. Number 3, Darren Waller, 54th overall, 5th tight end off the board. And rounding it out, Gronk at number 78, 6th tight end off the board.
Did they just forget about Dallas Goedert?
Gronk's all the way up at the 6th tight end drafted?
You got to think Kittle and Kelsey
No.
are ahead.
No. Gronk is 9th.
Oh, you said 6th just a minute ago.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, it's because he's he's 9th overall.
I think there's 2 tight ends on similar teams that should be drafted ahead of those guys.
Goddard is ranked 16th overall.
Goddard should be drafted ahead of Ertz, and O.J. Howard should be drafted ahead of Gronk. Don't sleep on O.J.
O.J. Howard is being drafted 25th overall. Not overall.
For tight
tight
ends.
end. Yeah.
There's a late round flyer.
So I
That
win.
was dumb. I was wrong. It was dumb.
Hey, you're rusty.
I am. It's been a couple weeks. Give me a couple weeks and I'll be back at it. Do you have another one? Or
No, that was Budhole ABC for the week.
Sweet.
And Star's got a new game
Not
that
for
we're going to unveil in a couple of weeks, so
yeah,
stay
future
tuned.
games. So, what are we going back to the Budhole 5?
Do we have a top 5? Or a Budhole 5?
I've kind of missed this
I mean,
more than I missed Brandon.
I kind of forgot how we even play this.
Well,
I'll explain the rules, even though you remember how to play. You have 30 seconds
35.
to name the top 5 in whatever category I give you. Since it's a sports edition, I'm going to keep it sports related. So it doesn't matter the order that you're saying them in. You get a point for each correct answer. If there's a tie, we're going to go through 6 through 10 in a 20-second tiebreaker round. If there's a tie again after that, we're going to go for the 11th pick, and we're going to go back and forth. Not snake style, back and forth. And I'll try to keep track of what you guys said and say the right things as I read the question. According to ActionNetwork.com, which 5 teams have the highest win total over-under for this upcoming year? So which 5 NFL teams have the highest win total?
Like a projected win total?
Yes. Whatever. Words matter, apparently. And while you're sitting here listening, go and check out Thrive Fantasy and use BUD as the code word. You will get a $20 money in your bank account. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gage, stop. Gage, pencils down. Gage, come on. There's 35.
It's a pen.
All right. We will start out with Gage's Rage.
The ad read during the fucking the 30 seconds is really tough. I only have 4 answers.
That extra 5, you would have had 5, though.
For show. Chiefs, Ravens, Vikings, Chargers.
Scott.
I got Chiefs, Ravens, Buccaneers, Seahawks, Cowboys.
Star Lamar.
I have Chiefs, Ravens, Buccaneers, 49ers, Cowboys.
Rounding out the bottom is Gage's Rage with
Gage's Rage.
2. For reference,
Chiefs.
the
Ravens.
Chargers are
I was going to say, what the fuck you coming up with Chargers for?
Chargers are 8.
Yeah, it was bad.
Vikings are 9.
It was bad, he goes.
Coming in first place, picking the victory crown back up once again, because he was a victor in the past.
Fuck!
With no hair on his head,
Son of a bitch, who is it?
Star Lamar
Oh.
comes in first place. He got the Baltimore Ravens 11.5, the Chiefs 11.5, Niners 10.5, Bucks 10. And at 10.5 as well is the New Orleans Saints.
I was thinking about doing the Saints, but the
I
49ers
just
didn't.
thought Cowboys, they're so high on them.
There was 4 at 9.5. Cowboys, Eagles, Steelers, Seahawks.
So there was technically eight answers?
No, because there was 5.
Oh.
The Ravens, Chiefs, Saints, Niners, and Bucks were all over 9.5.
So the
take that
Chargers
crown
and Vikings were still in the top 12?
Vikings are 9, so yeah, we'd be tied for 1, 2, 3, 4. Tied for 5th. Not bad. I mean,
Pretty decent.
we're also tied with 5 teams.
Not bad, not
And
bad,
the
not
Chargers
bad.
were projected 8 wins.
Yeah.
That's not bad either.
I would mash the under.
That's because you don't have anyone on their fantasy team.
Don't want
Yeah,
it.
it's good to be on top again, gotta say.
Good win, Star.
I'm excited for your new game.
Because this game sucks. No.
With that being said, we were told before this podcast started we will be without Star Lamar next week, so he's giving us a notice. He's not just no-showing like some of us like to do. Giving us a week's notice so we can find a fill-in, which probably won't look very hard.
Probably won't find one.
Yeah.
Definitely won't.
Yeah.
So everybody wish Star Lamar a happy birthday on Twitter. You can find him at StarLamar69.
Tight butthole.
Tight Budhole 69.
And he's gonna be what? You're gonna be 17, same age as Jasmine.
Yep. 17 again.
Appropriate.
Just
All
like
right.
the classic movie with that one guy
Zac
from
Efron.
Friends and Zac Efron.
And Matthew Perry,
That's what I said.
where his daughter tries to bang him when he's a kid. Not weird at all.
And
That's
the mom
fucked up.
is horny for a 17-year-old.
Hollywood's fucked. We'll talk about it on a conspiracy episode. Go jerk off.
Make sure to check us out on Facebook, Budhole. Check us out on Twitter as well, @officialbudhole, Instagram, @officialbudhole, TikTok, @officialbudhole. And if you have questions or comments, email us at officialbudhole@gmail.com. Also, make sure to check out our Teespring website where we have sweatshirts and t-shirts, and our website itself where we post blogs and whatnot. Both of the links will be posted in our description for the episode. Please leave a rating on whichever platform you're listening on, as well as make sure to hit that subscribe button so we can continue to bring you the great content we create, as well as make it even better for the future. We love you all. Peace out.